I really want us to do like a finale arc here for like the last 4 episodes, but I specifically want to do it where we get the entire classic lit club like really in on it, and not the way that they did it during the festival where ultimately like Ariki's the one who comes up with the answers and just kind of uses, I mean, clues and things from other people, of course, through their help. But I really want to do something where it's like maybe he's not necessarily the one who solves it, or even if he is, maybe it's more so the others like contribute in a way that feels more than him. And I think that would be a fun little switch here as he's kind of changed up a little bit in his approach and just him as a person a little bit. So I'd be really interested in seeing us go down a route like that. But I don't know if that's likely because he seems to be him, you know. It seems like they want him to be the guy. So I don't know. I'm excited though. If you like it all, hit the like and subscribe to mean a lot to me. Feel free to stick around for the discussion. Leave any comments about this episode or series. Let's get going. Episode 19.
キ君はマイクのテストがしたいのだなと。
あと10秒。
Sure.
しかし別の者はこう思うかもしれない。今日は晴れていると主張したいのだなと。
Yeah, there's many ways it could be taken, I guess. A metaphor. Okay, sure.
どちらが正解かを言い当てるのは運としか言いようがない。
Right.
葬式はどうなった？
滞りなく済みました。
Thanks for asking.
もしよかったら、おじにお線香をあげていただけませんか？
俺がか？
That's sweet.
近々おじのお墓参りに行こうと思っているんです。
Can you accompany me? Yeah.
ご
Aww.
一緒に。
Aww. Build on the romance. Build upon it.
いいやつだというのは構わないが、大したやつだというのはやめてもらいたい。
Stop raising the expectations here, buddy.
ダメなんですね、オレキさん。
He does.
いやもう全く分かってない。と湿布はどこにでもくっつく。
A what?
オレキさん、それを言うなら理屈と公約はですよ。
Still a what? Makes more sense with hers.
くっつけられるってことだ。
わかりました。オレキさんがこれまで事件を解決してこられたのは有能だからではなく運が良かったからだとしましょう。です
He'd
が、
like to believe
手がかりを
that.
もとに推理して推論を導き出せるというのはそれだけで一つの才能だと思いませんか？
俺が推論の達人だと？
違いますか？
I would believe he was.
導き出せたのか？俺自身分かってない。
Doesn't mean it's luck.
それはオレキさんが自分を見つめ直したことがないからでしょ。
まあその通りだが。
Yeah.
それならチタンだ。何か一つ状況を出してみろ。どんなことにでも理屈をくっつけられると証明してやる。
面白そうですね。
ちょうどいい機会だ。俺が頼りにならないと分からせてやる。
Bro says that show her that she can't depend on me, like she hasn't already made that decision that she can.
前の公文堂で買い物をした心当たりのある者は至急職員室柴崎のところまで来なさい。
Weird.
放送がどういう意味で行われたのか推論を立ててください。
いいだろう。
The smile on his face, the happiness to participate. It's a wonderful thing. Well,
はい、どうぞ。
公文堂ってお前は知っているのか？
I don't.
はい、駅前にある小さな文房具屋さんです。
I figured it was a shop or something, though,
年
yeah.
寄りの夫婦で経営しているお店ですね。一度だけ行ったことがあります。
Was there some stealing or vandalism involved?
柴崎先生は教頭先生ですよ。
Bro really does not know any. Yeah.
覚えるのは苦手でしたっけ？
ほっとけ。
Every orgy struggles. That's his big flaw.
でもいいことならやらない。やらなければいけないことなら手短にを不動の心情とする俺だが、こいつは大事な勝負だ。
I must
少
prove.
しは気合を入れてかからねばなるまい。まず、仮に X としておこう。
なんだか本格的ですね。
Come on, guys. Come on. She's been closer before. It's just when she's conscious of like how she like really is, then it's hard. I get it though.
言えば叱りつけようとしているかもしれない。
You never
ど
know.
うしてそう思う
Could
ん
be
ですか？
questioning,
生徒が
yelling.
職員室に呼び出されるのにろくなことがなかったという
Usually.
機能的推理によってだ。
オレキさん、真面目にやってます？
こんなに真面目になったのは入学
Just
で
getting
初めてだぞ。
started.
ひょっとしたら人生で一番真面目かもしれない。
Mm.
それに褒めるよう
Just
な
for you
もの
as
なら
well.
公文堂で買い物をした心当たりのあるものなんてよしあしのわからない言い方をせずにはっきり言えばいいんだ。あんな呼び出しじゃ心当たりのあるやつは不安がって名乗り出ないぞ。
それはそうかもしれません。
しかもこの呼び出しは急を要する。
子宮とあるからですね。
いや、呼び出しは大抵子宮だ。そうじゃない。
So yeah, I guess you'd leave it to believe that it wasn't necessarily a negative thing in which he's calling them down because they would just willingly not come down if it's not by name and they know they did something wrong, you know?
1年 A 組チタンダ L、1年 B 組教室、オレキ宝太郎のところまで来なさい。繰り返す。1年 A 組チタンダ L、1年 B 組教室、オレキ宝太郎のところまで来なさい。校内
Didn't
放送
repeat
に
it?
限らず、普通こういうお知らせは2回繰り返
Yeah,
す。だがこの放送では1回しか言わなかった。
that's a good catch.
それだけ慌てているからと考え、放課後に行われたからだ。
オレキさん、途中の説明を省かないでください。
省く、甘美な響きだ。
オレキさん、
X が下校していない可能性にかけて放送したってことだ。
オレキさん、なんだかきな臭い感じがしませんか？
そうだな。
と
Yeah.
ころで、きな臭いのきなって何でしょうね？
知らん。次の推理。柴崎が生徒 X に対してしようとしている話は公にはできない。それが現時点でなのか永久
See, that's the weird part, because then it's like almost like they have somebody in mind, but they won't signal them out, and then they're like specifically waiting and hoping that they just come down and maybe turn themselves in a way that it's negative, but like they know that they wouldn't do it if they know they did something wrong. Like that's but we're in a rush to figure out, like it doesn't make sense.
生徒を叱るのは生徒指導部の役割だ。
そうですね。森下先生がよく呼び出しをかけています。
生徒指導室はどこにある？
一般棟の2階にありますね。
なのに X は教頭の柴崎から職員室に呼び出された。
Okay.
これは事態が重大であることを示し、また管理職レベルで情報が伏せられていることを示している。
X さんが良かれぬことに関わっているように思えるんですが、
It's feeling that way.
ああ、そういうことになるな。犯罪に関わっている。
その犯罪というのは、
その前にもしこれまでの推論が当たっているとすれば、今この学校には警察ないし、それに準じる機関の人間が来ている可能性があった。 X の身柄を確保するだろう。そのためには直接ここまで来ていた方がいい。
Yeah, I think that's the part I'm more so confused.
出されたのでしょうか？
そうだろうな。おい、これはゲームだぞ。
No, she gets invested.
そうでしたね。
No.
あらば X は一体どんな犯罪を犯したのか。チタンダ何か思いつかないか。
そうですね。
Thievery. Yep.
まずは万引きですね。
I'm so ready for them just to pull the rug out of us out at the end of here and just be like, it was like the stupidest thing, or like it's nowhere close to what we were getting and we end up finding.
万引きはともかく証言の方はないだろう。
Yeah.
どうしてですか？
もし捜査当局が X の外見や特徴を知っていたなら、柴崎にもそれは伝わっているはずだから、公文堂で買い物をした心当たりのあるものなんて。
Right, which is the area that I'm still confused on exactly. Seems as though we have an idea, but at the same time we won't signal somebody out or single somebody out.
とは自首しろという勧告だったのか？
That's what I was
それにして
thinking,
は
but
お
like,
かしい。
right, because they have no obligation to
Sweet.
actually do it.
捜査当局は X がどんな人間かを知らない。しかし放送をかければやってくると考えている。
なぜなんでしょう？
俺が罪を犯したとして、あんな放送がかかれば。
I definitely wouldn't go.
職員室柴崎のところまで来なさい。
あと10秒。
しめしめ、捜査当局はまだ俺が
Right, you wouldn't turn yourself in if that was the situation.
とするとすればどんな状況だ？
If there was a reward involved.
いや、それなら自首して終わりだ。今日の放送がかかることもない。
Right.
X はそのことを悔いている。そして公文堂に対して謝罪をした。 書面でだ。
書面で
Hmm.
したんだ。今日は何月何日だ？
?11 月1日です。
10月
The day
31
after.
日というのは昨日じゃないか。
Immediate.
なぜ柴崎は昨日
Yesterday.
駅前の公文堂でと言わ
Clear distinction, even though it's the same.
うんぬんと書かれた原稿やメモがあって、それをそのまま読み上げた
Honestly,
時だ。
it makes
原稿や
sense.
メモですか？
ああ、なぜ捜査当局は X が犯罪に関わっていると知りながらその外見を知ら
Because they were given notice in a way.
運動に謝罪文を書いたからだ。おおよそこんな感じだろう。いや、全くすまなかった。10月31日に
And if you feel sorry enough, you'll probably likely come forward without having to single you out and, you know, identify yourself to the public.
を警察に持っていく。警察あるいは該当する捜査当局はその謝罪文を頼りに神山高校に来る。これがついさっき。
だとすれば X さんは謝罪文に自分が神山高校の生徒だと書いていないと思います。警察はなぜここを特定できたのでしょう？
Possible identified through somebody else.
が警察に心当たりのある
Yeah, they
相手はい
probably
ないか
recognize
と
the
聞かれた時
uniform.
おそらく神山高校の生徒だと
Yeah.
答えたんだろう。X が制服を着ていればわかる。
Yeah.
確かに。
しかも X が何か目立つ行動をしていれば記憶に残ってもおかしくない。
Hmm.
目立つ
X は目立つ行動をした。しかもそれ自体は犯罪ではない。X は罪を犯した。しかもその犯罪は謝罪文がなければ即座には見つからないものだ。少なくとも万引き程度ではない。
では
Fucking murder.
目立つ買い物。法を犯す買い物。
Straight fucking robbery. Pull out the fucking nine and just unlock.
X は偽造1万円札を使って買い物したんだ。
Sure. If you want. She's like, I can't fucking believe that.
それはあまりにありえません。
That's too crazy.
論理的ではありません。
What?
しています。
It goes against everything she believes in. See, she has no issue with personal space now. It's just when she's aware of it.
これはゲームだったろ。
No. You know, I love how into everything she gets.
何も本気にしなくても。
でもありえません。オレキさん X さんがどうやって偽造1万円札を手に入れたと思いますか？
They made it on their
ATM じゃ
own.
ないか。
No.
ATM や銀行を騙せるほどの偽札は万円札はお釣りにはなりません。記念硬貨を除けば日本で一番価値のあるお金ですから。
お前の言いたいことは分かった。つまり
They were given a fake
X
bill.
が偽札をつかまされたとしてそれを X が小遣いでもらっても父親にこれは偽札だと言えたということだな。偽札を使って小遣い稼ぎするようなやつがそんなに早く謝罪文を出したりしないか。
Yeah.
X は
So it had to have been
最初から罪悪感を感じ
unintentional in
つ
a
つ
way.
使ったんだろうな。
偽札の
Or
入手
they
先
don't
が
seem to
わからな
believe
けれ
that, so I
ば
don't know.
オレキさんの推論も実現は不可能です。
したんだ。お前はお金は好きか？
No, not really.
そうですね。嫌いというよりは好きと言った方が本当だと思います。
Sure,
1万
sure.
円をドブに捨てたら惜しいか？
惜しいと思います。
Sure.
ただその1万円が不当なお金でなければです。
自分の金であれば1万円は間違いなく惜しい。
Mhm.
X が罪悪感を感じながらも使ってしまった理由はそれが自分の金だったからだろう。 X はやはり偽札を誰かから正当な金としてもらった。円が返ってきたのにそれが偽物では X もがっかりだ。悪いと思いつつもじいさんばあさんがやっている店で使う気になっても。
でも X さんは偽札だから交換してくれと言えたはずです。
そうか？偽札はババ抜きのジョーカーだ。誰だって手にはしたくない。
Yeah.
この前借りた金返すぞ。あ、ワイ先輩、ありがとうっす。1万円だったな。
Just give him the fake and then hope that he doesn't realize, and then.
びっくり偽札だ。
Mhm. And if he does, too late.
X が金を貸した Y は X より立場が上の人間なんだ。だから Y が偽札で返してきても反論できなかった。警察が関係してきているのは X から出所を探れると予想しているからかもしれない。
Huh.
推論は以上だ。
I hope she just rejects everything he said.
せっかく長い話をしたのに何も
Give
言わ
her
な
a
いの
second to
が
process.
ひどいひどい。
She looks frozen.
駅前の公文堂で買い物をした心当たりのあるものは至急職員室柴崎のところ
Are
ま
you
で
satisfied?
思えば遠くへ来たも
How much can come out of so little?
ゲーム終了だ。
オレキさんは何かを証明するためにこのゲームを始めた気がするんですが
And you didn't prove what you intended, no?
何でしたっけ
How the journey of doing all things can kind of make you forget where you came from in a way.
推理してみませんか
Never-ending cycle.
勘弁してくれ。
But he says it with a happy voice in a way. Oh shit.
昨日のゲームのきっかけは確かひょうたんからコマ
Now, I might be completely wrong with what I'm about to say, but I do not believe this is the first time we've had an episode where we've basically sat in a single room and made the entire episode in that one setting the entire time. I believe we've probably had 2 or 3 others like this. You can correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe there has been. And sometimes we've had them where they've been in like a single building and we've shifted around like the rooms. But I do believe we have ones where we've been specifically in a single room for the entirety of it. Typically, those episodes, they feel like they're coming from a novel. They're very wordy. The pacing of them is rather quick because it has to for the amount of information they're usually trying to dump onto you, and they're more so used to either explain like the outcome of like kind of how something happened or the reasons for the deduction in a way that the characters are able to kind of come to their conclusions here, or we're just trying to bounce ideas and stuff, which is basically what we do exactly while we're in this one. However, this, in my opinion, out of all the ones, the few that we've had like that, is far and away the most interesting, the best one. And it's a few different reasons, the way that's kind of done. One, the tension in a way of, I don't know the proper term I'm thinking of. It's not like sexual tension, but like the romantic tension, I guess, in a way, between Chitanda and Riki, because neither of them, are ever honest with themselves, or at least not honest with themselves specifically when it comes to each other here. There's clearly, a lot going on there, and there's multiple moments that you can tell. But the relationship, the way that we can bounce these ideas off of each other, the chemistry between the two characters is fantastic, and it's like it hasn't been before. The tone in which Ariki tackles this thing, but also just like the way he speaks, the way he kind of goes about things, his facial expressions, the way that they showed everything is well different from just the kind of straight-faced, uninterested, like lack of just emotion in a way for most of the time. While he has shown emotion other times before, for the most time when he's usually coming to these conclusions and stuff, he doesn't have it the same exact way as he did in this one. And it could be because he at first was trying to prove a point, and he was taking it more of like a fun game, let me not take anything too serious thing, but it came off a bit more genuine. It came off a bit more fun and interesting for the viewer, me specifically, but it worked really well, and it allowed the playfulness of Chitanda kind of rejecting the things they saying or the things that she was saying to allow him to kind of come back with his own input on things and actually seem a bit more excited and a bit more into it than he usually is. And it allowed just the dynamic between them was so good that it allowed the emotions to kind of feel like bursting off the screen and actually like immerse me into like what's really happening here, which I think is a fantastic from something that's so straightforward. And it's so fantastic to think of a idea that they're doing here where, like, how many times have you found yourself in conversations with friends or family or literally anything, and it doesn't even have to be conversations. It could just be like, how many times have you found yourself on YouTube like late night one night, you start like watching a video, and then maybe you click a whole bunch of things that like get recommended, and all of a sudden you're watching something so like completely unrelated to what you were initially watching, and then you're like, how the fuck did I get over to this side? Or like I said before, you're in a conversation and you're just like off topic completely by the end of it, and you don't even remember how it all started. And they do a brilliant job of kind of looping that all the way around, and allow our characters, neither of them, to really remember the exact situation that led them ultimately into this. They know it starts with him trying to prove something, but what was he trying to prove? And ultimately they can't come to a conclusion, but it doesn't matter at the end of the day what they were trying to prove. They got a lot of joy and had a lot of fun in the time between it, and they're going to be able to have a lot of time afterwards to be able to look back and try and figure out exactly why they found themselves in this situation. And it's not even necessary that they do something like that, but it's really cool that they have this kind of relation in a way, and they have this interest, this common interest in a way, of being able to take this curiosity you have of these situations and really unravel it from being something as simple as a single announcement that has like 10 words in it or something, and turn that into 20 something minutes of you just talking and having a conversation and trying to come to a conclusion of something. How you can get so much out of so little, in a way, right? Like, that's such a cool thing. And now they'll be able to take everything that they just built up and tear it all back down and attempt to find the cause and the foundation for like what exactly the initial conversation and stuff that we had was about this. And I think that's really fucking cool, because it's also just not something that like is new in this, right? It's something that I feel most people, I know myself, has experienced and kind of gone through, where you're either trying to get to the bottom of something and then you just don't remember like even where you began or how you started, in a way, right? Like the journey you go along the way is more important and more interesting than realistically like the big picture of what you're trying to prove or do. And I think that's so cool, because it's so relatable in a way, even though like I can't relate to this exact situation, but I can, I guess, actually, in the way that they kind of forget by the end of it, and they're able to make so much out of so little, and it's just cool. The other real key thing, the thing that Chitanda brings up early on, I believe, about Uriki not actually like reflecting or being able to view himself like in an unbiased light almost, and actually like think about who he is or the way that he believes or how he like feels and sees things, because he constantly is trying to preach this thing about his luck, in a way, that he's lucky with the things that he does, because he refuses to accept the idea that he is somebody who is just purely talented and good at this. Because if he is, expectations of you basically rise. If you have the talent to do something, usually if you put in the effort to correlate with that talent, you're going to rise even further than where you are. Because most of the time with almost anything, you put in the effort, you'll see growth. Whether it's extremely slow or it's rapid, you'll see growth. But that person who starts with the talent, like him, who then puts in equal effort to, say, somebody else who's put in a lot of effort into it, is probably going to find themselves far, far beyond where that other person was. And Urki seems to refuse almost these expectations that can possibly be placed on himself, from himself or from others, if he were to kind of go down that route and really take that next step and actually have confidence in himself in these situations here. So I think that's really funny, though, just how he refuses that, and Chitanda kind of sees through him in a way, and it's almost like she understands him more, or can see him in a clearer light, which of course she can, than anybody like himself can from like the inside. Because usually when you're inside of a situation, it's a lot harder to kind of view things unbiasedly or uncorrupted, I guess, like to have less of a corrupted vision of this. And I think that's really cool how how she can kind of view him out like that, which definitely builds upon what happened last episode, where she was kind of understanding or viewing him in a different light a little bit more. And even the festival arc, and how she's like slowly is kind of becoming better and better with him, and even got to the point where she asked him, she felt confident and comfortable enough to even ask him to do something specifically with going to her uncle's grave or whatever it was for him. And I think that's really, really sweet. I think my actual like skipping through of the episode is going to be rather short, because for the most part, like I said, we stayed in one thing and I kind of discussed everything I really wanted to say about the episode itself. There were definitely some fun moments. Her getting beyond excited and being the cutest person ever over literally everything is really fun. I really like the way that they kept kind of the same theme the entire way, and style, for how they were kind of displaying these visuals and the way that they were approaching that. And I think that's really cool. It kept it entertaining, and there was enough like moving around pieces and stuff that I didn't mind that at all. This moment too, where they get way too close and they're acknowledging each other almost, and then they both basically just start blushing and getting embarrassed and have to turn away, which is really funny, because we've talked about before how Chitanda has personal space issues. And it's just because she gets so into these things and immersed into whatever she's doing that she just loses herself in a way that she can't keep a level head to like actually know and boundaries and like know where she is, right? So in this moment she was like really into it, but she was able to be, I guess, calm down enough to the point that she realized exactly what she was doing or how close she was, and it made her nervous. Because then again, we see multiple moments later where she gets extremely close and she's not feeling this exact same way. But also her walk, her excitement that she got in running across the table to go sit next to him to do this was the cutest shit. We also had a lot of other moments where she was just like pouting, or just the way that she was acting and telling him to take it serious and stuff. Sorry if this whole section is just going to be me like simping over her and the cute things that she does, but it's kind of hard to not. Once again, the back and forth between them is fantastic for the majority of it, and the constant visuals and stuff that we use. We had the other moment later on where they get really close to the point that it gets really, shit gets real steamy in there and everything. But I think that's really all I'm going to go through for the episode itself. The mystery and everything itself was fine. I mean, it was enjoyable for what it was. There was no way to really prove until they showed us the newspaper and stuff at the end, which is funny how spot on he was, despite him saying before, I'm going to make the most like outrageous thing. I'm not going to be able to do something. There's no way somebody could do this. And then him being kind of spot on is the funniest way to kind of just counter exactly how he views himself, or the way that he's trying to convince himself, at least, his luck and not being able to do these things. I think overall they did a really good job of even the mystery itself making it out to be something that I was questioning constantly along the ways, because things just didn't seem right the ways that they were kind of being presented or said. But it all really makes sense by the time you get to the end of it. And I think they do a good job at kind of working together and really getting to the bottom of that, specifically Ariki, but Chitanda helps in this as she can by rejecting his original things and stuff that he was saying, and really getting him into actually helping her and like solving this. That's all I really got. Let me know if I missed anything or you want to add anything. Please, would love to just read it and see what you got to say. I thought this one was fantastic. I said last time as well, I love these one-on-one moments that we get between them, and they're just really fun, and I'm loving it. My shipper brain goes crazy when the stuff happens. And this one even more than the last one, how that kind of went. So it was really good, though. It is really cute, and I'm excited to see what we got next. If you liked it all, like and subscribe. Do mean a lot to me. Feel free to check out the other videos on the channel. Leave any comments about this episode or series. I'll be back for the 20th episode next week. You guys have a good one, though. See ya.